because about 85% of any relationship problems is really come from the miscommunications. So I think emotional intelligence really helped me to, talk more clearly. And then that means that, I could connect better with, other people, the clients and, the partner or even my team members.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to episode 124. Now, this next guest I met in the Philippines. If you've been following this podcast for a while, you would have heard me talk to you about going to the Philippines, what I learned at the conference, me preparing for my talk that I gave there. And this is one of the incredible co-speakers or another speaker I met in the Philippines that I mentioned I was bringing to you soon. Now, I remember when I was sitting in the audience, because luckily I was there also attending, this bright light shows up on stage. So stylish, so lovely, just a lovely little soul. You know, when you meet people like that and you think there's just something light about them. That was Nini when she got up on stage. And then she proceeds to tell us, go to this link and read a script with your voice. And I'm thinking, really? What is that all about? And so we had all the delegates out and about on the hotel sitting there recording their voice into an app. And the reason why we did that was to get a result back, an assessment result back, to find out more about ourselves. It's fascinating. It's eye-opening. And it's definitely a reason why I wanted to bring her on the show, because she's going to talk to you about her technology. So in a moment, you're about to be introduced to Nini Tolson. She's a co-founder of the Tolson Institute, which is a global consulting firm that has served 25,000 business leaders. By the way, there's some impressive business leaders in there. And she's personally delivered over 10,000 case studies on emotional intelligence. This woman's background's phenomenal when it comes to how you think and perceive things and react to things in your life, especially valuable for us as business owners, right? She's also will tell you a little bit about her former job as a business class cabin crew member, which I really loved. She's lived all over the world. She's currently studying for a master's in positive psychology. And has this incredible AI technology that she's going to talk to you guys about. And you're going to want to listen in and hear how it works, and definitely take the test. You have nothing to lose. It's just a little voice assessment that I was telling you that I've done. Recommend it. So guys, I'm excited to introduce you to Nini. Are you ready? Shall we do this? So shall we welcome her? Let's do it. Nini, welcome to the show. Nini, welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you are here. I've been wanting you on the show since we met months and months ago. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited, I'm very pleased that when I receive your message for the invitation. So thank you so much.
You guys are going to love Nini. The things that she is working on is actually going to blow you away. As you heard in my introduction and how I've come across her, she has an incredibly unique take on AI and technology and what it can do for you to live a better life and work smarter in your business. And we will get into that. Don't worry. We'll talk about all of that. But I want to start with some tips. Our listeners love the tips because you have a business and multiple things going on in your life. You travel a lot as well. So let's start with 3 tips that you recommend to grow a business smarter and with less of that sort of hustle and grind energy.
Okay, beautiful. I think this is a wonderful question. In my view, because I'm working, on the emotional intelligence, so I definitely believe that emotional intelligence was very important for growing my business. I think it's all about understanding and handling the emotion for myself, but also for the others as well. I think which helped me to deal with different business situation and also build a strong relationship. So I think there's the 3 major ideas that really helped me to grow my business. I think the first one is being kind as a leader. I think that is the empathy is a leadership. So I think understanding my team and the business partner really helped me to lead with the kindness. And this also made our, work environment more positive, and the team member work well together. And I think the second part is the very effective communications, because about 85% of the any relationship problems is really come from the miscommunications. So I think emotional intelligence really helped me to, talk more clearly. And then that means that, I could connect better with, other people, the clients and, the partner or even my team members. So, making us work together better and keep the clients very happy. And I think the third part is like being very strong and flexible, having that flexibility. Because to me, I always think that business is like a mental game. So, the
It
business
is.
world, always change, and the emotion intelligence really help me to stay strong. And with, when the things go tough, and we know that, we always come across that sometimes having that tough time. So I think with the emotional intelligence really helped me to learn to adjust to the new situation, but also make smart decision, when the things go hard or go bad, and then stay positive all the way. So I think this is probably the three major tips, like I think helping me, but also helping a lot of my clients go through a tough time, and also grow their business at the same time.
This is great. Do you know you're the first person that has said kindness and empathy as one of the tips? I really love that because I live with that value in
Mm.
what I do in life. So thank you for sharing that.
Good. That's good because I think, sometimes when we pursuing our career, we have big goals and sometimes we kind of forget that,
Yeah.
and sometimes I think empathy, not just about towards other people, but also towards yourself. Are you being kind to yourself? So I think
Yeah.
that's very
Love that.
important.
So good. For those of you listening on our audio, I just need to ask you to watch the clips of this interview on social media or on our YouTube channel because you actually really have to see how stylish Nini is and what she's wearing and her I'm serious. I'm serious. And also the background, your background is the most beautiful wallpaper that Nini was saying to me earlier that they change every couple of years, which I love as well to give new environment and perspective
Yes.
in your house. So
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
All
Because I'm
right.
very visual person. So I think
Yes, you are.
having that change is quite important to me.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, who would have thought that just changing things around in your own environment, even color and wallpaper, it can make a huge impact, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
Cool.
today when I see you, wearing a little bit similar like me, the patterns and the
Yeah.
colors. And then if it's like we're in a certain kind of rapport. So I think that's good.
Yeah. Very true.
Good.
Okay, we're going in deep now. We're going to talk a little bit about who you are and this technology that you're talking about. So, I do want to know a little bit about your background and what your business does. So, tell me, what did you used to do before, and what is your journey to where you got to today?
Okay. My background, I was a cabin crew. I used to work for three international airline. But in 2010, I was involved in an aircraft accident. So that kind of, I went through three major reconstructive surgery and then, a lot of in and out of the hospital for the rehabilitation. So I think that is really tough 2.5 years for me, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I think that was the time I actually start get into personal development, but also the psychology. That's what I really love because I think that's really the time for me. I need to have that self reflection of what should I do for my next step? I
Yeah.
never done any job before except serving chicken or beef. So it's so it's really like I really have to totally reinvent myself, and then that's how I
Yeah.
get into it. I found a mentor, Brian Tracy. I do a lot of kind of that coaching and personal development with him, but also a very nice gentleman from Australia, Ted James, learning the NLP as well, with my husband together. So I think that's kind of the turning point for me, and that's how I get into it. And then I would say that through the year, with the business, me and my husband we're really helping a lot of business owner and the leader to just become a better version of themselves, and increase the emotional intelligence and having the confidence in themselves, because I know that for a lot of business owner or in the leadership, you always have to making decisions, and then sometimes it can be so overwhelming. You kind of like, oh, do I do the right decision? How this decision can impact. So I think it's giving that the confidence that they also can, believing in themselves and then moving forward. So that is kind of what we're doing. But also I think, the past few years, the AI technology getting really, really popular. And this is how I start involved with my business partner to having this technology. And then with this technology, it's really about helping the business owner to do the voice recording, which is I think you experience in
I did that.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that 90 seconds. So the technology, what we call is my report. So it's really measure your emotional intelligence and help you understand your unique characteristic and inner potential by using this AI technology to decode the frequency and the vibration pattern of your brain wave in your voice. So through the voice wave, then we can able to analyze your emotional frequency. And do you know that actually when you do your recording in that 90-second, this technology can collect 1,440 emotional trigger just in this 90-second voice recording.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and
That's
which is
crazy.
which is this something that I haven't shared this, when I do my presentation. But yeah,
No.
in this 90-second, it's actually collect 1,440 emotional trigger.
That's because it's quite amazing the report that it gives you. So, guys, just so you're familiar, Nini and I both spoke on a stage in the Philippines a few months back, and I was I was really fascinated by your angle and where you position what you do, because there's a
Mm,
lot of these sort of profiles out there, personality tests like DISC and
yes,
enneagrams and all of those that exist, but I
yeah,
never ever come across something that actually tests your voice. And so it's immediately fascinated, and it was quite easy. I remember it was like an app that we had to go on, and it had a script and you'd read it, right?
yes, yes. So it's just like basically like a link. You click the link, and then you
Yeah.
actually can even sing. Sometimes my clients will ask me,
Oh,
"Oh, can I?" They will ask, "Oh, what if I make the mistake when I'm doing the recording because you have the script?" I say it doesn't matter because it's decode your voice. So it doesn't matter even you say it wrong. You can say it in Japanese, Korean, Chinese, English,
yeah.
Italian. It doesn't matter. And for the kids, I have the youngest clients. She's only 5 years old. So how can she read the script? I asked her to do the singing, or she can
Singing.
do count from 1 to 100.
Yeah.
Easy as
Wow.
that. So I think, like you mentioned, I think nowadays there's so many different scientific assessment. I think they're definitely very valuable. I also use that in my business. But I think the good thing about this technology is that it actually removed the bias because it's your voice and you cannot lie to it. And that's what I love about it.
That's what I loved about it too, because people can trick the system, so to speak.
Yes, yes. But with this one, you cannot because it really detect your subconscious level.
So good.
Yeah, yeah. And you cannot lie to your subconscious level, isn't it?
No. Okay, so we get this report and it tells you a lot about yourself. So walk me through the report. What does it include? What does it say? And what are you meant to do with the results?
Okay. So I think this software really, not just measure about your emotional intelligence, but also your stress level, your subconscious level, your inner potential, but also your communication style. And how we also talk about your left and the right brain. Is that balance? Talk about your frequent emotion and core emotion. also talking about your mental health and social IQ, how you interact with people. I think the most fascinating part is in the report, in the upgrade report, we have one session called Emotional Life Blueprint. What is this? Is that this technology will tell you from the third trimester when you're in mom's womb all the way till where you are now. So it's kind of, it can tell me and show me what has been happening in your life in the certain event triggers certain emotion. And
Yeah,
if you have, deal with that. If you have, move on or not. So this is
interesting.
a very fascinating part because when we talk about in business, also for a lot of business owner or the leader, is sometimes we putting our energy too much in the past, and then sometimes those past energy, kind of hold us back, not moving, not being able to moving forward. But we know that sometimes those a little bit insecurity, business owner doesn't want to talk about it. But
No,
when
we
they,
don't.
but when, yeah, yeah, but that's okay. But that's okay. But when
Yeah.
we see it, but when we see, we realize like, oh, okay, maybe at this time, these things happen. I probably haven't had a positive learning yet. So it's really bring that self discovery, but also that self awareness, which is we talk about in the emotional intelligence. The first part is that we cannot fix something that we don't know.
Absolutely
But
not.
yeah, but when you see it, you're just like, okay, now I know this has been happening. I probably haven't, deal with it. Or, can be the emotionally like, okay, what can I do it differently for my future? So, and I think this is also the power of the coaching. We're not just always focusing on the past, but we also, we need to fix the blind spot, and then so we can move forward faster. I hope that makes sense.
It makes great sense. So, and is that what you guys do? Do you actually then support if somebody wants coaching around their results? Is that the natural next step for them?
Yeah, we usually have actually two options. One of the option is that the clients can do it with themselves, which is we offer the customized frequency therapy. So
Yeah.
our group of the doctor and scientists and psychology, what we will do is that we will base on your report, which area that is imbalance at the moment, we will customize the frequency to balance the brain wave. So, like I
Got it.
say, I think in my presentation, I talk about, even Einstein talk about everything in life is about vibrations. So even we are talking right now, we have certain energy that we feel like, oh, I really like her. I really like Heather. You really like me. I feel like, oh, we have certain that level of the frequency. So it's the same. So
Makes a
we,
lot
we,
of
we, we
sense.
do that. Yeah, we do that to help clients also improve also their communication style, how they see themselves, talk to themselves. Sometimes business owners are very harsh on themselves, very, very perfectionist. And this is what we will help them to balance that brain wave. But also, this is something that the clients can do it with themselves, only take 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, and then you can balance out. And we have seen a lot of tremendous improvement, not just for myself, but also with a lot of our clients who has been using it. Because I did give them the tasking; they can track. So I track every day. I'll
Got it.
track, how they feel, how like, help them to sleep better. I have one client say the other day, she used to have a lot of panic attack, and then she said after the 4 days of listening to frequency, she said that this is the first time in such a long time she doesn't feel anxious just after 4 days. And then
First time
first
in
time.
like that's incredible after a few days. That's incredible.
Yeah. And then the most important thing is she said that she finally stopped procrastinating, is that she had one project she has been putting off for 3-4 months already. And then she said that was the first time in 4 months, she actually picked up the project and called the clients. So, so it's some, something like things like that is really phenomenal. It just can be a very short period of time. But then another option can be, clients can do both. They're doing the frequency, but they're also doing some coaching as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
So when you say doing frequency, is this something that you listen to?
Yeah, is that way. So everything now is online in the app. We have the system. So all clients
Yep.
need to do is that 15 minutes in the morning, have the headset on, and then usually we recommend the clients to listen to at least 3 times, in like morning and nighttime. So morning 3 times and then nighttime 3 times. So and usually the each session, what we call each loop, only about 15 minutes, and I believe everybody have 15 minutes.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Especially if you know what it's for and why you're doing it, and there's more of I guess, an emotional weight tied to it because you've already taken the test and you know who you are, right? So you know the
yes.
benefit of this.
Yeah. And I think this is also kind of helping you to change your personality as well. With a lot of
Yeah.
my clients, when they come to me, sometimes they have a little bit challenge about speaking up for themselves. Worry about the communication, how other people might see them, might create a chaos, those kind of things. And with this can also help them to actually speak up more. So it's really about balancing those DNA in their body, so they're having more confidence to speak up for themselves.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really phenomenal. Like me and Danielle, me and Danielle, we're loving it.
Danielle's your partner, and we're going to have Daniel on the show coming up as well. So it'll be fun to
Yeah,
have a different perspective on this
yeah,
conversation.
absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. Okay, so you take this test, this voice assessment, and then you guys then say, okay, here are the frequencies that you should listen to? Is it kind of like a formula that you provide to somebody?
Usually we have, like I say, is really customized. And then,
Yeah.
I haven't seen, clients have exactly the same report. So what that means is
Yeah.
everybody's different. So I think that's the powerful stuff is that if you go to the market, probably some people doing very similar what we're doing, but I think the main differences is that we customize. We not just like generalize and I give it to you because everybody's, the challenge is different. So I think that's
Yeah.
that's the main part. We also, we will have like a relationship enhancement, but we also have, the mental health. A lot of people suffering from the anxiety, and this
Very
is
much.
we also helping clients with that, but also with the physical health, helping clients to lose weight, to start overeating. So there's so many different kind, and then each how should I say, for example, as a 15 minutes as a frequency, actually in this 15 minutes is include about more than 1,000 different frequency. Yeah. So that's it, just like, so that's really 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 cool. Like my children listen to it as well. Like I
Yep.
say, I have a youngest clients, only 5. She
Yeah.
actually suffered a lot of how should I say, she suffered a lot of insecurity, but also the anxiety as a kid. So she cried a lot, and sometimes the crying can last for like 2 hours, won't stop, and is unconstant. So the mom actually come for the consultation, and she experienced, and then she realized, oh, maybe this can help my children, and then that's how we get her onto it. And I think the first week, from the feedback from the mother, she said that it was, she said it's such a long time she feel like she can actually relax and have a good sleep. And she said for that
Incredible.
week, the first week, the kids didn't cry. Like the
Really?
emotion, yeah, the emotion is more stable.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're using, so this technology
It's
we're using in a lot of, we even using for the pregnant woman.
okay.
When you're pregnant, you're emotional, ups and down, and you go through a
Yeah.
delivery. So we also have a special code. That's what we call the mom code frequency to help mother. So yeah, it was really fun. It's kind of like for everybody. Sometimes I say, as long as you have ears and you don't have you don't have the like hearing, challenges or impair, then
It's
everybody can
really,
use.
yeah. Okay, so then Do you have any other interesting case studies or anything you want to share before we move on? Because I did want to talk a little bit about the coaching side of it as well.
Oh, okay.
Because you've shared so many different areas. Any last ones that you want to share before we move
Yeah,
on?
I think I will share one of my clients. She's a lawyer and she's been
Yeah.
with me for a very very long time. When she come to me, she actually struggle with self confidence and professionalism, and then I think for her it's found it really hard for her to get into the next level for her career because she always beating herself up internally.
Right.
So I think after working with me, of course, we're using the technology, but also having the frequency to help her at the same time. She actually start gaining the confidence and start applying the role that she wanted and receive 5 jobs offer and 3 pay rise just in the first 90 days. Just in the first 90 days.
From using the frequencies
And
to help
coaching
her
at
with
the
her
same time.
and coaching.
And
Okay, got it.
at the same
Oh my
time.
gosh.
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
same
right.
time. So in 180 days, she doubled her income and she become the head of compliance of one of the Malaysian, the wealthiest company. So at the moment for her team member managing 800 employees and across 20 business units because
Incredible.
it's all about how she starts seeing herself very differently. And when you see yourself differently, you approach differently. One of the things I like to share with my client is if you're if you don't like the outer world that you see, change the inner world. So because your
Yeah,
outer world is a reflection of your inner worlds, and then I think that is a perfect is what kind of that to to explain how much that she has achieved in her life. Yeah. So
incredible.
she's one of my favorite clients, and I'm always so proud with her, achievement in very very short period of time.
Who coached her? So you guys have coaching as well. So
Yeah.
you have the app, you have the assessment and all of that. Do you have a team of coaches? How does that work?
I think at the moment we used to do some train some coaches and coaches from the
Yeah.
UK, coaches from Malaysia. At the moment, and sometimes if we really really busy, we will share. We will introduce our clients to our coaches, and but also really basing on their budget as well. I don't like to use the word budget, but really depending how much they want to invest. But I would say that majority, because we're working with the leaders and the business owner, usually they tend to just come to me or come to my husband.
Yeah, makes
That's
sense.
majority of them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now you guys have a nice understanding of what Nini does in her business and this incredible technology that she has. I do want to ask you your thoughts on Overwhelm because, as we said, I mean, they're calling the younger demographic these days the generation of anxiety, which is really sad. And there's a lot of overwhelm floating around, especially as business owners, where we're just kind of going a gazillion miles an hour.
Yeah.
Through all of your learnings and working with your clients, do you have a mindset hack that people can use in the moments they are feeling very stressed out?
We have about 60,000 thoughts per day. And then actually 80% of those thoughts are negative. And actually they're repeated. So because since our brain can only focusing on one thought at a time, either positive or negative. So one of the things I think the hack is that changing your physiology can really shift the state of the mind.
Yeah.
So for me, even I say to my client, if you feel overwhelmed, first thing you need to do, take a moment and move your body. So for me, what I like to do is I would like to take 10 minutes walk. I have to leave the environment. Okay, I need to take a walk or, shake my body. Another way, which is, I think, I mentioned the secret weapon for me is that frequency therapy, which is a lot of
Yeah.
my clients use it. And then I show you very interesting the other day, one of my client in Taiwan, he say in his Google Sheet, he update me and then he's like, oh, this morning I have an argument with my colleague and with my boss. And he said, I'm so fucking angry. And then he said he went to the toilet. Okay. And then he came back and he said, I put my headset on. He said, after 10 minutes, he feel that anger kind of like balance out. So kind of cool him down. It doesn't mean that he don't want to deal with the situation, but he just feel like at that moment, his emotion come down. He feel like he can more control and then talk more logically, then
Yeah.
become so emotionally. So that's the two thing I like to do. And I think that's the best is like, change the physiology, go and walk, do whatever you need to do. But then an easy way is that you can put the headset on. That's what we do. And then I think this really, those two secret weapons, I think really help me, but also help my clients as well.
They are. I'm a big believer in that as well. Just change perspective, get out, breathe, get out in nature,
Yeah.
walk, move your body.
Yeah.
So great, beautiful advice. Now, as we start to slowly wrap up, I do want to ask you the
Mm.
future of where you're going, because you mentioned something to me, and on purpose, I didn't ask to dive deeper because I wanted to hit record and have you
Yeah.
tell all of us about it.
Yeah.
So you said something about your technology to be used in anti-aging. Tell
Yes.
me more. What do you mean by that?
Okay. All right. So we all know that 80% of our disease caused by our emotions. Is that correct? Yeah. So I think with the anti-aging is that, so what it means, like the happier you feel, the more
Yeah,
younger you will look, right? You don't have no stress.
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So with this one, the technology is that with the 90-second recording, we also can talk about your aging, how should I say that, like an aging process. Like for example, sometimes if you go to some cosmetic clinic, they will, do the machine on your face. It's like, oh, maybe you're 40, but your skin look like
Yeah.
50, or like that, those aging things. But now
Yeah,
we
totally.
using, yeah, now we're just using with the voice and then with the 90-second. We also will looking at your, stress level, your immune system, but also looking at, like the stress level, like you mentioned, a lot of adult population experiencing anxiety. And actually, based on the research, 51% of adult population suffer the anxiety. And
Yeah.
when you worry, when you anxious, you can think clearly, and then that can impact your cell, your DNA. So this is how we want to bring in different perspective into that. And then with the frequency itself, we can customize that. We can increase your collagens, we can increase the Q10, like a lot of things. My team of a doctor and a scientist like share with me the whole list the other day. I was like, oh my God, I said that's so much. And I said, how can we put into the frequency? And then they said that which mean, like for example, they gave me 40 different type of frequency that we can put into it. And then he said with that we probably have to divide in 2 or 3 different sets, because our brain can only handle certain amount of frequency. So if you
Oh my
add it
goodness.
too much, it actually will harm your body. So that is the new things that we want to do, because I'm the person, and I think you're woman as well. You want to look young, and then yeah,
Totally.
and I want
Yeah.
to and I want to look young as well. I just turned 45 this year.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Like
Yes.
you would even never even guess even come close to that age, you guys, just so you know.
Yes. So that's why sometimes I say, well, if you look at me, I didn't look at my age. This work. This really work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. This conversation has been so interesting because a couple things come to mind. The first one is that I wouldn't necessarily call this a shortcut, but it's definitely a hack because
Yeah.
like we said earlier, we bypass the sort of filters and I guess sort of ourselves going, oh, what answer should I put on that self-assessment test to look better than what I
Yeah.
really am?
Yeah.
This bypasses, it goes straight in, and it literally then gives you what you need to do to help yourself through listening to frequencies in your ears. And
Yeah.
to any business owner who is time poor, let's face it, most of us are, we are looking constantly to improve ourselves, because that's why we're in business. We're constantly driving and going forward and looking at what we can do better. and B, we're time poor. So this unique mix of technology and your assessment that you guys have developed, to me, is like a match made in heaven for busy people.
Oh, you just have a good word, because I remember last month I did a training for 100 people, and then
Yeah.
in Taiwan we were doing the online training, and then when we talking about the personality trait, which is like an enneagram. So when I doing the training, I saw one of the lady type in the chat box. He's like, "Oh my God, this is so damn accurate. I feel like we don't need matchmaker anymore. I should just, ask my
Yeah.
boyfriend, or like, okay, you do the recording and I look at your report. If we are a good fit, we can together. If not, see you later." So I just
Oh
feel like
God.
I'm just like, oh, that's so funny, and then it's kind of true. It's kind of like, even we're talking about with the communication style. Everybody is different, but if you know yourself better, but also know your partner, you should
Yeah.
actually will create more that intimacy, that love together as well.
Yeah, really good. Oh my gosh. Well, spoken from somebody who's done the voice recording, first of all, that's fun and really
Yeah.
easy to do.
Yeah.
The report's amazing. I recommend, like, guys, you now have this opportunity here to learn about yourself in a whole different way. I bet that none of you even knew possible until now, until this
Yeah.
conversation. And by being involved with Nini and doing this report, I'm sure you'll probably keep people up to date with the frequencies for anti-aging as well as you
Yeah.
develop that out.
Yeah.
Where do people go to get the report, to learn more about you and what you're doing?
Okay. They can go to my website, Nini at ninitolson.com. And then in the website section, there's my report. They can, go and try it. Like the one that you try in the Philippines, this
Yeah.
one is just an A page, but I think that will give you enough insight about yourself from very different perspective.
It will. Take it from somebody who's done it. Definitely do it. It's worth it. Seriously, guys. We'll have the links in the show notes as well. And yeah, I mean, you literally have nothing to lose other than to learn a lot more about yourself that you will be really, it's eye opening. I recommend it. So, with that said, as we start to wrap up, um, do you have any words of wisdom, any last words of advice for people that are listening to this, that are feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed, a bit sort of like wind is taken out of their sails for their growth in their business, and they just need to hear the golden nugget to keep going? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say embrace change and have fun
Oh,
in the journey, because I think see growth in every challenge. Because I think for me, remember, confidence is a journey, it's not a destination. And I think, like you say, all of us, including me, we have those ups and downs. And sometimes we can lose a little bit confidence in ourselves. And I think that that's quite important. Remember, the confidence is a journey,
yeah.
not a destination. And I always believe that people have a, unlimited potential. So believe in yourself and take bold actions. And, and I believe you'll be able to witness incredible transformation, in yourself and then in the future ahead. So have fun.
Yeah. Love that. Guys, get out there and have fun and take this test. Seriously. I'm not, you got to do it. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being on this show and spending time with us and the listeners, and sharing just a unique perspective of learning more about you, and some really beautiful words of advice woven in and amongst all of that. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm really happy to I can share this cool technology with your audience. And I believe that they can definitely enjoy it if they want to take the test. And I think they can get some very good insight about themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you.